Having a family member have an addiction problem has really changed the relationships in my immediate family. My younger brother is a heroin addict, and it has really challenged the relationship that I have with my mom and with my dad and with a few of my siblings.
Honestly, I didn't think that addiction had any sort of impact on me. I just grew up, how I grew up, and I assumed that everyone's family was like that, and that's just how it was, and that was normal. It wasn't until I was married that I started to notice things, and my husband started to notice things, that I was very paranoid. My husband and I have a really good relationship, but I always had this fear that he was just gonna like up and leave. If he said I'm stressed, that was because I, wasn't giving him enough time to study, or whenever he would express his feelings, I would turn that around and make it be my fault. I was afraid to cry in front of him because I wasn't allowed to cry, and I was afraid that he was going to get mad at me for crying. But I started to see these things, and I wondered if something was wrong with me up here, or if I was psycho, or if I just had problems. And I just thought that I was like messed up.
It's just hard to watch your family members struggle. Watching them trying to save their child is the hardest thing, and to be supportive of their decisions, it's hard to not tell someone how to react to something that we don't know personally. So she's been struggling with this for about over 10 years, and she is nothing like what she was, and she is the happiest, most kind, and you can ask anyone, she is the best person there is out there, and she is a shell of what she was, only because she's just kind of dead inside in her struggle and her panic to save her kids. Finances are always a problem when you have an addict, because they steal from you, they really put you in financial ruin of the rehabs and everything. So her own help for herself is put to the wayside because she's trying to help her son or her kids.
I've had a lot of depression and anxiety about my children being addicts. I have 3 of my 4 children that are addicts, and it has been really hard for me to some days get out of bed.
I have never sought out support for myself being a family member of an addict. I always thought that support was just for the addict. And since finding out that there is support for family members, it's been very helpful to go and be included in a support group that is meant directly for family members.
I started taking this addiction class, and for one of the assignments we had to go to various support groups, and one of those support groups was an Al-Anon meeting, and I never thought that it would be there that I would understand myself, but it was in that meeting that everything just clicked, and I was able to go back in time and re-access memories that I had completely blocked from my just didn't want to remember. I was able to go back and look at those situations and experiences and think about why it happened, and kind of relate that to my life now and why I react to certain situations the way I do. It's been really nice going to those meetings. I'm still really new, but I would just say to those people that are struggling with a family member or loved one that's addicted, to really seek support, because addiction has such a big impact on the family and the friends involved in the addict's life. And that's one thing that I love about Al-Anon, is that you can talk about whatever and they understand you, and they help you understand yourself, which is it's really amazing.
The family therapy sessions at the rehab centers my children have gone to have been the most helpful. They've helped my husband and I be able to better communicate with our child and with our addict, and to help us understand how their brain works and help us understand how we need to react to them, because it feels so unnatural to do some of the things you have to do as a parent to parent an addict.
Some words of encouragement that I would give to families would be to find support for yourselves. There's more than just the support for your addict, but finding support for yourselves will help your addict eventually. Finding your realization that you are not responsible and what you can do to help yourself and help your addict.